Let's bring in Lee Bowman here from Parent Financial and discuss exactly how this works. I'm sitting on that exercise ball because we saw the doctor talk about the benefits. Right. And frankly, Lee, it also works because some grads don't have the money to actually buy a chair. Right. So they have to sit on things like exercise balls.
This could be their living room
It could
furniture.
be their living room right here. So let's start with some tips. It's not easy. It's so expensive to go to college these days. You're saying set up a meeting with a financial advisor, to kind of get things in order?
Right. So if you're a parent, grandparent, aunt and uncle, and you've got someone that's graduating, a loved one, and you want to give them a present, probably one of the best things that you can do is pay for them to sit down with maybe a CPA, financial advisor, someone that deals with money on a daily basis, and help them build a budget, because they're going from eating dollar pizzas and penny draft night to owing rent, maybe having a mortgage, paying the cable bill, the electric bill. There's going to be a lot of different things in the real world now that they're out there.
They have to learn, and that's obviously a tough thing. I'm still learning to this day, frankly. Okay, so start sooner than later saving, and that's easier said than done, because that'll lead to our third point. But what tips do you have towards that?
Yeah, so I think we had a segment on here a couple of months ago, the big difference, if you can start at age 25 versus waiting until 30 or 35, being able to put away that extra $25 or $50 a month, just the power of compounding interest over the next 30 to 40 years until you hit retirement is a huge, huge difference versus waiting 10 years.
Right, but that said, you've got college grads, they've got credit card debt largely, right? So that's a biggie. And then student debt, the student loans. How do you save if you got to pay those two things off?
Right, and that's why it's so important to build a budget and actually sit down with someone, a family member or a professional who can help you build a budget to figure out if saving is even an option, or if it makes more sense to start paying down debt. Because 1 in 3 college kids that graduate have no idea how much credit card debt and student loans that they have.
Which do you pay off first? I think I know the answer.
I would probably pay off the credit cards first, because they're a higher interest rate.
Right, but how does the interest vary? Because you mentioned during school, right, there's no interest on a student loan. But when you get out, is it across the board the same number? Does it vary?
A majority of loans when you're in school you don't have to pay them, and they don't accrue the interest.
Right.
But once you get out, some start right away. Some give you 6 months to find a job before you have to start paying minimum balances. And it really depends on the type of loan you have. It could be based on your income, or there could be minimums based on the balances too.
Do you have any tips for getting a job? Because that's what
the
college grads
get a recruiter.
I get a recruiter.
Get a recruiter.
Get a recruiter, because it is tough. Being a college kid these days, a lot of them move back home with a parent.
Right.
Because they don't have any other choice. They have all this debts to rack up, and they can't live on their own.
And it's a great way to be able to manage the money you have, because you have some help with the bills.
Yeah.
And you don't have to sit on a ball like this.
Sit on a ball like this. All right, Lee Bowman, really appreciate it. Thanks for coming in. Money Monday.